Hello, ladies, gents, and all my enormously disappointed parasocial relationships. It's me. I'm back. Back in Spelunky HD for the daily challenge of November 13th, 2023. And this reminds me right now, I was not planning to lead with this topic. There's plenty of other things to talk about. But that reminds me, I actually started this channel 10 years ago. I think it may have been September of 2013. Anniversary came and went. 10 years of being a goofball on the internet while playing all sorts of video games, mainly spelunkulars. And I have nothing to show for it. Oh, hello, Adam. Going to the exit, give me a kiss for a good old time's sake. I'm back from the dead. COVID couldn't destroy me. The Corvette menace has passed me by, but not without leaving some lasting damage. It was the ordeal of the century. Absolute sickest I've ever been in my life. Where's the shotgun? Where's the shot? There you go. Absolute sickest I've been in my life, but I didn't want to lead with that. I actually wanted to lead with, does anybody out there still play Spelunky HD? And sure, yes, I could easily answer this question by going on Google and saying Steam charts Spelunky HD and looking at just how many concurrent players. That is not something that is very conducive to conversation, so instead I'm just going to wonder aloud without any facts in my pocket. How about that? That is just my style. Enjoy it. I have been taught very well by CNN and ABC that just speaking out of your ass without any facts on your side, it's just the way to success. At least in the 90s. These days, they're not doing that great. Anyway, I want to go into that snake pit. If I were to guess, and I am going to guess, I'm going to say 271 concurrent players in Spelunky HD. Wonder how far off that estimate is. Do you guys think that that is an absolutely terrible estimate and there's no way there's still 271 people still doing Spelunky HD shenanigans? I don't know if it's unreasonable. It is the number that I am saying. But I don't know, it just seems like a... Why? There's a freaking Mattock right here. There you go. Seems like a reasonable amount of people that would still be having a grand old time in this Spelunky HD land, refusing to convert to Spelunky 2. Oh yeah. I was like, oh man, how do I approach this? This is Spelunky HD, baby! Check me out. I remember my own tricks. I know how to do this. There you go. We are running out of time though. This Ghost in Spelunky HD comes at 2 minutes 30. There's something special about this video game that Spelunky 2 just doesn't have. And I'm not dissing Spelunky 2. Like, I have considered many times, like, should I make a video going, where did Spelunky 2 go wrong? And there are places where you can answer that question in a negative way, but Spelunky 2 didn't go wrong. It's simply, you know, it's a completed video game that you just stop playing at some point. It's okay to stop playing the video game. You don't have to play the video game for the rest of your life. If you played it for a whole freaking year plus, that is a massive success of a video game making. Put that there. And I would like to have access to this wonderful vault. We are doing the daily challenge. I'm going in for that $1 million, baby. I want to see if I still got it. And whether I get the million or not will not impinge on whether I still got it or not. I will never admit that I don't got it. I still got it, and that is the narrative that I have in my head, and there is no amount of evidence that is going to prove that wrong. Anyway, leave your comments in the comment section below about your opinions about Spelunky HD and its longevity versus Spelunky 2, which is because it feels like Spelunky 2 just doesn't have that same staying power that Spelunky HD had for me. But that is probably just the bias of having played HD for so long. Anyway, that's not even something that I can really go very much in depth about. Don't really even know how to feel about. Oh, that was already a trigger. That was silly. Don't even know how to feel about it. Let's go into the entire reason why I wasn't around. Long story short, I got a horrendous case of COVID. I thought I was immune. I thought in my mind, I was like, oh, COVID immunity, baby. I'm one of those rare few that will not get sick, because you see, my wife got the coof really bad. Maybe at some point last year, I forget exactly when it happened. And I didn't get it. Like, we were sleeping in the same room, you know, all the shenanigans. And I did not get sick. So I was like, man, I must be one of the lucky few. Lucky me, check me out. Superior genes. Haha. Turns out I was just waiting for the right variant to strike. And boy, did it strike. Started as just a little bit of a sore throat, which kind of went away, gave me like 1 day of feeling fine, and then the next day it was just fever and chills and just feeling extremely flustered. Then the next day I was like, oh, I'm pretty fine. So I got on planes, and then from the moment that I got on the first plane, it all went downhill so hard. And yes, indeed, I am confessing to the horrendous, terrible crime of being a real life super spreader. I was 100% a super spreader. What do you expect me to do? Like, if we were a small trip that I can rebook, but this was a $5,000 plane ticket. I'm like, I'm not, and I would have been just stranded in a completely bad place if I didn't get on those planes. It's like, I'm not sacrificed. Sorry if this disappoints you in my integrity. I wouldn't even say it's hypocritical. It's just selfish and gross that I chose to board those planes anyway. The new variant that is now in the United States, it's probably my fault, because I brought it from Spain. I did that, and I have no excuse other than I just didn't want to suffer for the sake of my fellow human beings. Can I maybe? That's triggered, right? Am I about to get hit in the face? No. This ghost is kind of a pain in the ass, though. Why would you do this instead of ghosting the gem? That was kind of dumb. Feeling disappointed in myself. Joined the ranks of my parents, all my high school teachers, my wife, my employers. Just join the party of disappointment on Blargo. So anyway, in that plane, my throat, it was like every time, like it hurt normally, and then every time I swallowed, it's like some piece of garbage was slicing my throat open every time. I have never had a sore throat quite like that. It was absolutely horrendous. Then midway through the trip, the cough started, the feeling absolutely horrendous, on like completely out of place, and not knowing, like thoughts going at 1 bump per minute. Absolutely atrocious. Feel bad for my wife. She had to put up with all that and just watch me suffer. It was pretty bad. Later she confessed how freaking terrified she was about, she was tempted to just stop the plane, turn back, go back to the place so you can take me to the hospital. I would have been so pissed if that happened, though. Like, that would have been just a horrible ordeal on itself. But, I'd much rather have endured and just died in the hospital. I mean, in the plane. I think that would have been a much better fate than actually having to put up with a hospital visit in Seattle and then being stuck there for weeks. I would rather just die. Thanks. Just when the plane lands, just roll me out, throw me onto the tarmac, and just let the seagulls take me. I'll embrace that fate. If it means not having to put up with that kind of ordeal. Then finally, just through sheer power of will and my wife's help, we got home. Man, I was just destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Never suffered like that before. Actually, there has been different suffering, but of a different kind. Whereas being sick, never been that sick before. It lasted for like 3 days. Symptoms continue progressing. I started feeling a weird swelling in my chest, like the side of my rib cage, you know, and I just kept watching it swell and swell. I was like, holy crap, what is going on here? This is just completely insane territory. 2 bombs or murder? I really would like to indulge in murder! Murder is me. Murder is me. Let's go into adventure mode and pretend like that didn't happen. Tell me the number of how many people are playing this. If we go all the way down, keep going down. 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80? That's insanity. Insanity. How was I 34? That makes no sense. Wait, friends? No? I wonder if you can just sort it through all the way to the bottom. It's just going to let me pause and see how long it takes to. Oh, I already got to the bottom. So today, doing the daily challenge so far, 149 people. And that's just the people doing the daily challenge, which means there's a whole bunch of other people that are just faffing about in adventure mode. Pretty crazy. Anyway, side of my chest started just swelling, just getting these dark spots. And I was like, oh, what is this? I don't want to go to the hospital about this. I'm just gonna let it run its course. The dark spots kind of coalesced together to form like 3 dark spots that then like form an indent, and it got like really deep to the point, and then I was super freaked out by that point, and I was about to just get in the car, go to the hospital, when the giant bump it's a hey, don't go to the hospital. My name's Thomas. How you doing? And that's how I met Thomas the Tumor. And we've been friends ever since. He's a really great conversationalist. Really enjoy our discussions about the Israel-Palestine conflict. He is a staunch supporter of the state of Israel. I am ambivalent in the matter, so he's constantly getting mad about all kinds of... Anyway, this has already run its course. Let me just stop. That entire bit sounded a lot funnier in my head. Long story short, COVID just lasted forever, and then the linger effects that prevented me from recording anything at all. Oh, okay. So much mucus being stuck in my throat that I was just unable to speak for more than a minute without having to clear my throat. So it makes it impossible to record some silly old commentary while playing a video game without having to pause every 1 minute. So that's why you haven't seen any video on the channel, which, you know, made me very guilty. Terribly guilty. Not because I feel like I must put out content at all times, or the YouTube algorithm will forget about me. I really don't. The more that I waited, the less I cared. And I never really cared about that too much. The guilt was, of course, my obligation, quote-unquote obligation. Oh, that was terrible. To people I just wanted to watch stuff, and especially the other 2 series, the non-Spelunky stuff. Because I am sure at least some of you fellas join the channel membership just to be part of those silly RimWorld and Call to the Lamb playthroughs, and suddenly it just stops. It's like, whoa, what the hell did I join for, you bitch? You stole my money. I was terribly, terribly guilty about that. So that is going to resume immediately. Those series will be done. And I don't know exactly what I'll be up to after that. Something I have thought about all the time, and this is something that I waffle back and forth constantly. Just making use of the second channel again and putting those long form videos there. Not long form, but you know, the scripted videos there. Any kind of long scripted video that I work a lot on, just chuck it there and have this channel be pure gameplay daily, or you know, 5 a week and that kind of stuff, because I really enjoy that. I don't want to stop doing that, but I also love the idea of having a channel where every single video is a banger. It's like, wow, this is some great content. Not saying that the gameplay isn't its own enjoyment. You know, this is a very 2010s type of thing to do. It is not in vogue unless you are really good at the game you're playing, or you're one of the big personalities out there. You're not going to do very well or capture a lot of interest with a Let's Play series in 2023, unless you already are some kind of celebrity that people are very interested in, or you know, you're extremely skilled at whatever you start playing, none of which are my case. As far as you know, I have tried to keep my real identity concealed, because you know, this is a problem with stalkers. I don't want to mingle my famous personality persona with my YouTube persona. They just don't gel. I think I will have a lot less business opportunities if it came out in my personal, you know, niche of famous business being that I am in fact a YouTube goofball. Okay, I don't know what the hell that was about. You know, all my billions of fans that scream my name whenever I take to the stage. What am I doing here? I have 43 bombs. One there. I don't even know. I'm just in adventure mode going forward. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And that's what we're going to do. Oh yeah. Fantastic. Gonna be pushing 40 soon, you see. We're gonna be pushing 40 soon. So that makes you think about your life, cost of living, retirement. I don't need to tell you how the cost of living has gone absolutely insane lately. This is something that everybody saw coming. At least everybody that had half a functional temporal lobe. They're like, oh, they're printing trillions of dollars, you say. Wonder how that will affect the future. Maybe there will be an insane pile of inflation going forward. Oh, gee. Cost of living got absolutely too much to handle? Wonder how that happened? Damn! What an unforeseen consequence. Anyway, I wasn't even gonna tackle that or the causes of it. It's just talk about the reality of it. And it just goes into the calculations of, you know, for my concerns. I know that this is a boomer topic. And yeah, many of you fellas have no interest in, you know, you can't even see that far ahead, let alone worry about it. Uh-oh. Oh, that's right. This is Spelunky HD. Ah! Just punch me once. Yeah, baby! Get wrecked. Throwing a rope does nothing! Oh, man. What a freaking joke! What was I saying? Oh yeah, but you know, it's like you only need to extrapolate. Like, if cost of living has gone up so much in the last, what, 4 or 5 years, if that, you start thinking about, oh, I'm going to save X for retirement, have a nice retirement when again, blah, 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 blah. But I guess the bottom line of what I'm trying to say is the entire retirement calculation is entirely facetious. It's just not, facetious is not the word. It's just not feasible. Because you calculate retirement costs and all that kind of stuff. Oh, how much money should I have in the bank for retirement? Which, by the way, I've never really thought about retirement that way. I've always had in my mind that that's not the way you do retirement. You do retirement by having passive income of some sort. You have some kind of scalable income scheme. Mine was being an author, being an artist, being able to just sell things passively once I had worked a lot of my time into it, you know? Don't know how that's gonna pan out, but that was my plan in the beginning. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that you cannot think about, oh, I need $1 million in the bank. Now, then my retirement will say, bitch, by the time you get to retirement, maybe 20 years from now, if the world's still around and we haven't all become radioactive mutants, that's going to be a pittance. That's going to be the cost of a toilet paper roll, $1 million. Here you go, a $1 million bill, Zimbabwe style. It's all completely warped and we're all gonna die poor, is what I'm trying to say. Not trying to be a boomer, a doomer? Not trying to be a doomer. I'm just saying that old paradigm of work really hard, save for retirement. No. You can't no longer do that. You need to invest for retirement. You might get away with that. Still a massive problem when you consider all the volatility and all the things that can happen with the scheme of investing. Are you dead? Yes, you are. All that being said, it's just that people don't want to work these days. It's the problem. All these whiners on TikTok are making YouTube videos. You new generations just have no idea what hard work is. You just need to stop buying a new phone every day. You need to just stop bitching and get a third job to make ends meet. Oh, you got a college degree, you're $100,000 in debt. Tough luck, you made a terrible decision. Now you need to die because of it. I'm being slightly hyperbolic. And also kind of pretending that that's not the way I think. In truth, I am very ambivalent about it. Because in one hand, it truly, like, the paradigm has completely shifted. It is just simply no longer true that you can just work hard and then be able to afford a home and have a family the way that you used to, like the middle class used to be. But it's also not the way that, like, oh, life is impossible now. It's like your quality of life as you are struggling to make rent. Your quality of life, it is so much higher than a giant portion of the generation that came before you. Just my wife talking about her coming up stories of she had to choose between dinner and rent. She had to choose, and her dinner would be 2 slices of bread and bologna, and that will be her meal. And I'm not saying that's right, obviously. I'm not saying that you should live that way, because that's an awful way to live. I'm saying that suffering in the past has been atrocious, and most of y'all don't get to that point of suffering, even though you are struggling to make ends meet. I guess that's my point of having a little bit of perspective. Still, though, I am mostly on the side of the people saying that this is bullshit and life shouldn't be like this. Because it's mostly all the broken promises. Like, They were brought up thinking, these people that are finding themselves incapable of making life work, they were sold on lies that if you get this degree and then you find yourself a good job, you're gonna make it okay and you're gonna have a nice, comfortable life. Turns out the world didn't accommodate for that. And now they're pissed. But I can also see the side of the boomers saying you have no idea what the struggle is like. Because you really don't. A lot of people don't. I'm making enormous generalizations, of course. Myself, I have lived very much a life of privilege. I was very lucky to be born into a not wealthy but well-to-do family. Never really struggled with making ends meet. I do have a lot of secondhand stories from both my parents. They struggle. Holy crap, did my parents live in abject poverty. So I do have secondhand accounts of what abject poverty truly is like. And of course, my wife, who grew up first as extremely poor Korean, then an extremely poor adopted child. And I do mean extremely poor, where, you know, taking actual going to the food bank and relying on the food bank to be able to put food in your belly. That kind of poverty. Where you truly just cannot make it without charity. You know, she was a child. She worked enough in the freaking homestead as child labor and did not get paid a dime for it. Just room and board and the occasional beating. As people do when they adopt children, you know? It's just the way that you gotta raise them. Teach them the hardships of life. By being an abusive parent. Just getting too hard in the weeds here. So I'm just saying. Obviously, there are stories just like that right now happening. But I'm talking about all the whiners and legitimate complainers that make videos. It's like, bitch, you have a phone that you could afford to make this content on the internet. You're not struggling that bad. If you're able to put up a video on the internet, just that, your struggle ain't comparable to the breadlines of the 1920s and that kind of stuff. Again, not saying it's illegitimate, because if you start thinking like, oh, back in the 20s, people waited in line to get bread, you have nothing to complain about. Like, maybe those standards of living were abject and awful, and nobody should have gone through that, and still we can do a lot better than that. So, you know, that is the argument that you can have whenever the boomers say, you have no idea what struggling is about. It like, you went through bad stuff. That doesn't mean that that was a good thing. It's like, maybe you should have bitched and moaned hard enough for things to change and not just feed yourself on a $2 a month budget and just take it in the chin. Anyway, I'm just talking out my ass at this point. Just sharing those thoughts of the ambivalence of wanting to yell at kids for being pussies, but also being like, you know what, they got a point. They got a real good point. And life should not be like this. For the majority of the Western world. You can also compare it to the horrendous living conditions of the people that made those phones that I was talking about. That is a very common argument too, of saying you're making this whiny video on the phone where a literal slave worked on for a pittance to make it possible for you to create this whiny ass bitch ass content. You have no idea what pain and suffering is actually like. But you have not played Spelunky 2 and know what actual suffering is. You have not put yourself through the randomizer and know what actual pain is actually like. But again, that's the same argument of like maybe that is also absolutely atrocious and shouldn't be happening. That doesn't mean that my situation is not bad. You just have, you see, you have a bar that is on the floor and you have a bar that is 20 meters underground. They are both really low bars to clear for standards of living. Just because one is so much worse than the other doesn't mean that the one that is comparatively better is good. That will be the argument. Why am I waiting to ghost this vault? Because I'm salty about the daily challenge not going my way, okay? That's what I'm salty about. So I'm like, damn it, I got cheated out of some ice caves ghosting. I'm going to take matters in my own hands. I'm going to ghost this vault and it's going to be glorious. Absolutely fantastic. So that's my spiel about all the, because it's become a lot more prevalent. All the people complaining online like, hey, standard of living is slipping. Our generation, I don't know if actual suffering continent, converse, conspicuous, convalescence, what? Constipation. Actual content constipation. What? Brain aneurysm. Let me restart. So stupid. I don't know if the actual overall suffering of the generations coming up is actually higher. I don't think it is. But the feeling of the newer generation be like looking forward and seeing the world actually have less opportunity instead of more. That feeling of I'm kind of doomed and the world is just not, doesn't seem like it's going to improve. A lot of previous generations had that feeling of I might be having a bad time now, but I am going to have a much better time in the future. And that's what really got a lot of people through their tales of struggle. The current generation feels so much different in that regard. Like, doom is a real thing. Doomers are indeed prevalent in the coming up generations. They look to the future and see only despair. There's a change in just the spirit. Oh. Of the newer generations. I think that is a factual statement. Is bad? Oh! That was dumb. I don't know what the hell. Was I supposed to sacrifice myself? I don't even know what I'm doing, brother. I already saw the Moai head, right? What am I doing here? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know what I'm even trying to do. I just wanted to kill all the aliens, okay? I was feeling... Oh! I need to stop. I need to stop. What was that? What was that, you might ask? That's my 35-minute alarm. What? My 35-minute alarm that goes off every 35 minutes saying, get up and do something. Because you see, the lingering effects of COVID that I completely forgot to talk about. A massive problem. It wrecked my back. Something fierce. The coughing just... It didn't give me a muscle spasm, but I felt like I had a muscle spasm throughout at least a month of just not even being able to sleep because the pain in my back was so awful. Holy crap. Been going to physical therapy and everything. It's just been a rough time with my back. Thankfully, I am mostly recovered. Been working really hard on it. Been suffering terribly. And one of the ways that I combat it, because, you know, sitting for long periods of time is just not, is a deal breaker for my back. My back goes like, you're gonna sit here anymore. I'm going to stab you until you get up. So now I, you know, stop myself from getting to that point. Got an alarm going off every 35 minutes. I get up. Either I go do some kind of chore that it needs to be done. I do a little bit of exercise, something that stands me up and makes me work on something. Anyway, the topic that I had in my head is pretty much run its course, talking about all the generational doomerism that has taken over Gen Z and millennials as well are struggling with the spirit of going forward through the world. Let's go to the temple, because I completely forgot about how hell works. Yeah, baby. Keep on going. I was completely done with that topic, and then I had a different topic in my head, and it completely evaporated. I was like, okay, let's just leave that topic behind because there was some other thing that I wanted to talk about. Let's just start with that. And I entirely forgot it already. So I don't know what I was getting at. I don't know what the hell I wanted to say. I don't think I got done promising that RimWorld and Cult of the Lamb would absolutely be finished and, you know, kept played on. I've been looking forward to that the most, actually. Getting back into RimWorld! Getting back into RimWorld! You're still alive. Jumping around like a scumbag. I may be trapped. It's very possible I'm trapped here. There you go. That was upsetting. That was not a fun time. Let me just throw around some of my 20 bajillion bombs, okay? There you go. Get destroyed! Oh, look, more bombs as a reward. This pleases me. I don't know why I'm grabbing the scepter, other than I am full of violence and I want to have an outlet. There you go. And that's the absolute best outlet. Off through the exit. That's the thing with my back problems, though. The more I move, the less of a problem it is. It is a matter of lubrication. Got imaging done, got, you know, the awesome, fantastic bulge. The problem with getting old, man. I always had back problems. You've heard me probably talk about them before. As a teenager, I'll always remember, like, I always had a kind of a funky back, but I always remember the first big time, and that was I closed the door with my butt. And it wasn't really my butt. It was like my lower back. It was a heavy metal door that I butted into it to close it good. And man, I remember that pain, saying, holy crap, that hurt a lot. What's going on? And then the next morning, I could barely move. Since I was barely a child, I recovered quite quickly. But ever since, my back problems were more noticeable, for sure. Do something like this, maybe. It's stressing me out. I would not blame doing that for the back problems. It's more like that's when they first manifested, because they were going to happen anyway. But it's always been a matter of you're just not moving enough, you're not working enough. Until recently. Recently it feels a little bit different. Because like there's some nerve nerve damage going on back there. Maybe the alien egg is finally hatching. The alien egg is finally hatching. The larvae are starting to take over my spine. And that's the kind of pain that I've been enduring. Oh, baby, Olmec's lair. Ah, shit. You can actually get to hell still. I completely forgot about the new and improved method that, honestly, I don't think I have, like, I wouldn't say zero memory. But damn it. Let's see if we can get it done. Let's find out where Yama is at. Stay there, Olmec. Let's find out where Yama is at. We need a little bit of digging down to do that. So we can look at the bottom of the stage. Probably overdid it quite a bit. There it is. Wow, it's such a good candidate. I don't know if I'm gonna pull it off, but I should be able to pull it off in theory. I really forget how exactly you're supposed to do it though. I am so rusty with this. I only pull it off once. The gist of the matter is making sure you make a tower and then you push the tower down there and have Olmec stomp it. Let me think about this for a moment. I think the first step needs to be kind of find a mattock in the crates up there. That will make my life so much easier. So let's see if we can find one. No, you. It's definitely a non-zero chance. What would be the chances? If there's maybe like 5 crates? Maybe there's like about 5% chance I would eyeball it of getting a mattock out of that. I wouldn't say they're very uncommon. One out of a crate, but oh, definitely they are pretty rare. Alright, no mattock. That reduces my chances of pulling this off by about 80%. The reason it would... Oh, I should destroy this first. The reason it would be... I shouldn't destroy the whole thing. Here, that would be okay. And then this one. Then you push this. I wanted to push the other way. Now I kind of screwed up. I think it's okay to do this. And you put a bomb. I'm going to destroy this block though. You put a bomb here. Hopefully that destroys the block down there, doesn't it? Yeah, that was a mistake. It's not completely lost though, because we have this right here going on. Oh, that's going to create the gap. No, it doesn't. All right, good. The tower needs to be pretty high. Liberate these. I already messed up because this one I can't really use it. I can use it if I get in there. Oh my, you're not too close, are you? Stay there, you scumlord. Son of a bitch. Can't really get that close. But if I move quickly enough and do something like this. Damn it. Stay there. Stay there. Good. So make a nice shaft. And here's what I was aiming for. I think that bomb is pretty decent. It's still chilling up there. All right. I don't want this block. We can just destroy this one here. Now we push Oh, that's gonna be rough, but I think if I put a bomb in the corner up here, it should be okay. Alright, we can push this here. Alright. We got a 3. And we can also push that one up there. How can I get just the one? I want to have both, or at the very least, this one and this one. It's a tough one, though. I think I can only get away with one. So if I push it here, and then I put this bomb right there. Oh, I'm gonna destroy. Oh, that was stupid. I don't think he's completely lost, but I'm pretty wrecked now. I'm pretty wrecked now. It's tough, okay? Don't judge me. No, I thought I had. Oh, he just committed ritual suicide. Well, what is this? Well, we have answered a question that we didn't know that had an answer. That question didn't exist before you witnessed that. And that's what happens when you resurrect with Olmec right on top of the exit. So I'm glad that we got to witness that. Stay tuned for more stupidity.